Hey, beautiful soul. I'm Yvette, and welcome to Soul Therapy Cafe. And I'm still on my adventure. I just wanted to check in with you, and a lot of things have been happening on this journey. Hasn't been quite two weeks yet, but I'm getting there. I've moved into my second apartment, and I kind of wanted to get out of PV, Puerto Vallarta. It was kind of touristy around that, the Malecon and the whole vibe. It was cool, but I needed more quiet, and so I moved into another area, which is more like a neighborhood. And really cute apartment. This is it. Nothing special, very basic. I'm around a lot of local people, which is really cool, kind of seeing how everyday life is. And of course, walking around the neighborhood, checking it out, very different. And I have to tell you, over the last couple of days since I spoke to you, a lot of feelings, a lot of triggers, a lot of things have been coming out. Naturally, spending time alone, things are there, they're inside, they got to come out. And things like, kind of missing a few things from back from where I used to live. Okay, I won't even call it home. It's more like my past, because this is a new beginning for me. So I started thinking about, like, wow, wouldn't it be nice if I were back where, my former home, where things were a lot more convenient, a lot more easy, a lot more the way I like, like, for example, realizing that I'm a real big foodie, and things have got to be like a certain way, like how I eat every day. Many of you know I don't eat meat. I don't eat dairy. Every now and then, I might have a small piece of cheese. That is my weakness. So if you see me eating a little piece of cheese, then don't be like, hey, wait a second, I thought you didn't do that. I do every now and then. I love it, actually. It's my weakness. But so in the mornings, I like a certain kind of coffee. I'm a coffee girl, and it's got to be a certain quality, a certain robustness, and it's got to be done a certain way. Okay, I know it's a mess, but I got to have a certain kind of, like plant-based milk that I like. And, if it's not that way, then I can't have it, really, And so when I go out to eat here, it's a little bit different, especially when you're off the grid. So I kind of, I luckily I brought my favorite coffee brand, which is my favorite. It's really robust, flavorful. And then I found a place where I can get some plant-based milk and having my nice iced coffee, and then of course smoothies and all fresh stuff, and that kind of thing. But I must say, even just browsing through the streets and the neighborhoods, I really admire the people and how they make a lot of stuff from scratch. I see them making the corn tortillas from scratch, and you're like, it must be nice, And I did find like a little small side hustle business on the side of the road. There's like lots of them everywhere you go. And with my limited Spanish communicating, I mean, here's the thing, I'm from California. We all learned to speak Spanish in school and in college. I even lived in Spain for a couple of years, but it's been a while. So it's just kind of regurgitating all that stuff and remembering, which, I don't have a problem. And so I seem to be able to get by okay. And so I did happen to have like sort of like a vegetarian one taco, okay? Because, that's all they had was one like peppers and stuff like that. So I had to kind of, with rice and everything, and it was I was cool with it, And then there was a lady on the side of the road selling ice cream, and I met her, kind of said hello yesterday, and she didn't have the kind I wanted, but I thought, why don't you just go holler at her and just see what she's got and just buy something, just communicate with somebody. You might learn something. So I bought the ice cream, which I probably shouldn't have, because it was not the kind I liked, and it was just like, I didn't eat it. So I'm finding my way. And so with that said, the messages that I'm getting today is all about really just knowing that I'm not alone, that I'm being divinely guided, and just to really just be in the moment. Like, don't always worry about the future, which is totally different than like what we're like accustomed to. What I'm saying is that we're always planning and we're always thinking of the future. We're taught that from like day one. Don't just live from day to day, you know? And so this is kind of like going backwards. I'm kind of relearning things because we miss a lot. And I've talked about that before, how we're always thinking ahead of ourselves. And that does work to a certain degree. But really, you miss so much if you don't just like live in the moment, live for the now. And I'm trying to do that. Even appreciating like this little apartment. I'm safe. There's a lot going on outside those doors. You know, we get thunderstorms often, and I feel safe and secure. Just being grateful, but also knowing that I was kind of like knowing I wasn't going to be here for a while. I was just kind of buying some time and to where I can find a more suitable location. And I was just browsing late at night, and you know, I came across this apartment in another sort of beach town that was available, and I responded, and they responded right back. It was on one of the Facebook groups in that area which I belong to, and you know, we kept going back and forth, and it was like almost 11 o'clock at night, really, and which wouldn't normally happen back to where I, you know, my past back in the States. Like, no one communicates like that late unless it's a particular type of business. This ain't that kind of business. And so something just said, you know, just go for it. And not knowing that just a week ago I was planning to go someplace else, a completely different direction, but listening to spirit, because we always expect things to come a certain way. And when you're divinely guided, when you're opening your heart instead of just your head, it's like speaking a different language. You know, you have to kind of like, you know, tell yourself, wait a second, I've been doing things my whole life this way, and kind of unlearning some things. So going backwards so that you can go forward. And all I can say was that I recognized that, you know, I was receiving this download to like, no, this respond to that, and it felt good, and things were happening so fast. And so I was gonna wait to check it out, but then I said, no, I better go tomorrow. So I went immediately an hour and a half outside of where I'm living now to go check it out, and I liked it, and I just felt like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. It felt right, and it was a good start, and the price was right, and you know, so I'll be moving again. But my next location, I think you're gonna find that it's more me, it's more my vibe, and it's right on the beach. And it's nothing fancy, but definitely it's like part jungle, but part village as well. So I'm gonna do some footage there once I get there in the next couple of days. But for right now, I just wanted to check in with you. Still hot as hell outside. I mean, I'm lucky because this place has air conditioning, but the air conditioning was like not even enough, for real. And luckily there's like a fan as well, so I have the air conditioning and the fan on at the same time. But hey, whatever works, right? I feel much better with both, so I got both. I haven't really met any people around in the neighborhood, but that's okay because I'm not staying here long either. As far as my everyday, you know, just spending a lot of time being with self, reflecting, but also, you know, just reflecting, but doing a lot of healing stuff is coming up, a lot of remembering again, being with self, and just being able to release things that you had forgotten about, that don't serve you. They're not for your highest good. They cannot come where you are going. And all I can say is that I'm just aware, and I'm communicating, I'm meditating, I'm journaling, I am working on not worrying about things or being so concerned, but just knowing that all I have to do is ask, because I know one thing for sure, that when you are on your divine path, you're being guided, your spirit, you're listening to your heart, you're open to receiving, and you have let go of things, the past completely. You're not looking behind you, you're looking forward. It's like you get the downloads, you get the messages, you get the divinely guided messages. You learn to trust self, And things are kind of inconvenient, you know, they're convenient, you're a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not even really a big deal because you know where you're going is so worth it. It's not just about being spiritual. It's about healing. It's about becoming more of you, but also knowing that you're headed into a direction that is perfect for you. And we're all like nervous, we're all scared, we all think that we're crazy, and so does everybody else around you. You know, they look at you like, oh boy, like I don't know if I could do that, and, you know. But I mean, okay, I mean, here's the thing. I probably would say that as well, but I've reached a certain level of self-mastery and self-love that I'm betting on myself. I'm taking a chance on myself. I'm loving self. Because if you don't really do this for yourself, you know, like who else is going to do anything for you? You're doing the ultimate. You're opening up your life and you're inviting the new in. You're on an adventure. And I believe that we all know that inherently inside, but sometimes we don't really believe that the better of the new, the magnitude of the greatness, all of the good things that are coming, but just, you know, just believing and just tapping in and just trusting yourself, trusting the messages, trusting spirit, you know. And it feels good, you know, even though the small inconveniences of like not having my food and or my, you know, where I live the way I like, this is all temporary. It's temporary, okay? There are lots of good things as well, you know, and I'm learning so much about myself on this journey. And if this message really resonates with you, please subscribe or like or share. It really makes a big difference to the algorithm on YouTube. And I'll see you next time.